Why hello there, and welcome to some more War Thunder. I'm Corny Swiss, and today I'm driving around a couple different tanks in an arcade ground forces battle on Karelia in the domination game mode. There's ABC. The first tank I'm driving is the new Stug, the Stug H, I believe, Stug 3H, and I was pretty excited to get this because it has a couple things that I wanted from a Stug that we didn't have, obviously. For example, extra armor on the front and some side skirts for some angling purposes. So there I hit a 3M right in the face, and he felt that one for sure. But this is gonna, my, I guess, life in this tank, in this Stug, is still gonna highlight an issue I have with the Stug, in that even though the armor is better on the Stug H, it's, I believe, 80 millimeters, it's not so good that it'll save you. Now, I take a bunch of hits here, but I'm going to say that's more to do with the fact that they were missing the critical portions of my tank, and also you're going to note that my side skirts are actually going to take quite a bit of damage for me. Those side plates actually really do add a lot to the durability of this machine because they basically allow at least uh, one shell's worth of damage to be protected from. Now there is a KV1 over there, and he's going to be a real issue for me. But and the reason he's going to be an issue is more so that it's difficult for me to penetrate a very well angled KV1, and he certainly was angling really well. But I'm gonna have a go. The best chance I have is to hit his turret, either his turret ring or the sections of his turret, the little bits on either side of the gun and the gun mantlet. But that's a really tough shot, even in arcade mode. It's very difficult to hit. And you can see here I'm looking at the side skirts and how they've actually eaten quite a few shells for me. But you also note that I've noticed with this Stug in particular, usually when I get knocked out, it's more often than not that they shot through my gun shield, that extra plate on the front of the gun, and it like managed to ricochet into the tank. I don't know, it's weird. There's some weird stuff. But I decided to go for a air battle or a air event, pull in a bomber, with the idea being I'm going to bomb B and try and give that KV1 the good news and sort of bust him out of there so I can move up into that little cap zone. Now, I'm not a particularly good, well, in arcade I'm a decent pilot, but I'm going to mess up the bomb run because I'm pretty bad. But I'm also getting shot at a lot. It was making it difficult to get these bombs on target because I had to be kind of evasive. I get some hits, but no kills, I guess. But you can't always just bomb the enemies to death. I would have much rather gotten like a B-17 or a B-25 or something like that, or a Wellington. That would have been much better. But can't complain. Come back in the game and come back to my tank, I'm immediately getting hit, and I'm going to poke out and get knocked out. Kind of sucks, but I mean, this tank's armor isn't really built to deal with that gun, and I think here's an example of a weird shot. It's a little weird to me, but that's the way the game is, so you can't really complain about it. At this point, I've decided that I don't really want to go to the eastern spawn. I'd much rather go to the western spawn because it just felt like a better decision, mainly because my goal was to get to that their first cap circle, but now my plans kind of change here when all of a sudden they start capping our C. That's obviously a pretty big issue because even though we own A, we need to own one other, and preferably C because that's closest to our spawn point. It's easiest for us to defend. But I pulled out my my Panzer IV G, I believe. It's not the F2. It is this is the G. And I'm trying to hit this T-50 who's just hanging out in there. But I take a hit from something out over there. It's got my track, and I didn't immediately repair, and I really should have, because whenever your tracks get damaged, as long as you're in a decent position, you should always just go ahead and start repairing them. As long as you're angled for the perceivable threats, just go ahead and repair the tracks, because you want to be able to get moving as quick as possible. But it's interesting, to say the least. The fact that my main concern at this point, where in this position, is not the people I'm shooting at. It's, in fact, the people who are way down over there in that other cap circle. At this point, the battle's not looking very good. They're capping A, they're capping C, they own B. We have friendly tanks moving into A, which is good. That's the center hill. Holding that is fairly important to holding the other zones. And myself and this little flak truck here are moving in to hopefully try and take C back. I believe it's C, yeah, C. However, I'm going to be kind of a derp. I'm not going to use this tank to its full effectiveness. The flak truck goes in that side, I go around this side, figuring one of us is going to flank him. I shoot the KV-1 in the side, but just not a good shot. KV-1s are always difficult, and I really should have killed this Stug. I don't quite know how he survived, but he did, playing randomly running into the back of my tank. But this KV-1 is eventually just going to turn his turret and punch one right through me. And at this point, my gun's damaged, my turret's blown off. Well, now it's blown off, but it was just clogged. And that was just bad. I got into a knife fight with a bunch of guns that have either quicker rate of fire or the same rate of fire. So I decided to go for the Jagdpanzer IV, and I hadn't driven this in 1.43, so I have to redo the ammunition load, which is a little bit annoying because, well, there's been a couple things. I've had games where my ammunition loadout will be just switched for some reason. All of a sudden, instead of carrying a full load of AP, I'm carrying a full load of HE, which in some machines isn't a problem, but in a majority of machines, it is a problem. And I don't know, and I'll check and say, okay, yes, I'm loaded with the right ammo, and then all of a sudden I get in the battle and I'm not. So it's weird, but it doesn't happen all that often, and in most tanks you can make it work. But either way, at this point, we own A, we got a lot of tanks at A, so we need to take C. If we take C, we basically win the game, because taking C gives us a 2 cap, which is good, and the ability to hold that cap via A, because we have basically a stranglehold on A. We have, like, I don't know how many tanks that is, but at least 5 allied tanks in the A area, and we got rid of that pesky KV-1. He must have taken a real beating. But at this point we just need to get into the cap circle, at least reset the cap, so that it's a 1 cap versus 1 cap situation. And this was kind of fun. That's a Panzer IIIJ. Alright, so he's got a pretty dangerous gun. This T-34-57 is going to try and give him the good news. And we're just going to watch his burning corpse just roll down the hill to where this guy is. I thought that was pretty cool when it happened. Like, that was a pretty cool little section of this replay. You know, it was cool when I saw it. And he comes up over the ridge. I go for a shot, but someone else picks him off first. But we're just going to sit in this cap circle and cap C. And once we cap C, as long as we cap C and we have enough tickets to sort of survive, we should be good. Because at this point, I don't think they have many players. And we have a stranglehold on their southern cap, so they're not going to be coming from there. We probably could move into the southernmost cap if we wanted to, but there's no reason to, because once we cap this, we basically only have to defend from their the northeastern spawn, and the way I'm positioned is the best way to do it, just facing down this road. And we have tanks kind of swarming in from both from the road that leads away from the A cap circle, and then myself guarding this road. We've basically cordoned off the area and secured the win. The ticker's going to go down, and nothing else is really going to happen. So the post-battle results screen, I finished first on the team. It was a good game. I think I had 7 kills. And it was just a fun game. It was very intense. I had to use all portions of the game, and it was just a fun replay that I wanted to show. So thanks for watching. I'm Corny Swiss, and I'll see you next time.